Greetings from Las Vegas. I know from the thumbnail you're probably going, Tiger gets a roommate, new bike day? What's that all about? And it is a little bit of an unusual situation. This thing, totally love it, but it's great for the fast riding on the highways, basic dirt roads, going to my mom's place, stuff like that. But it is really intimidating, the thought of taking it on anything more than just a basic neighborhood dirt road. I don't know if I'll ever get, I'm not that guy. I don't know that I have that kind of confidence. A couple of years ago, I had a Husqvarna 701 and I injured my left knee pretty bad on that. And it was nothing all that unusual, going through a little arroyo or a little dip that was kind of sandy and silty. I actually got it on video. It's on one of my previous videos. But it's just the bike kicked, put my leg out to dab and push myself up, pop, heard a noise. And I said it in the video, I go, ooh, that didn't feel right. And come to find out, I ripped my ACL right off the bone and tore the meniscus a little bit, so pretty bad. I have a couple of photos I'm going to insert that show that time period. So at the time, I thought, as I'm healing up, am I done? Am I going to continue riding? Heck, I even have another photo that I'll include where I have my leg brace on, where my leg was completely immobilized for, I think it was 6 weeks after the surgery. Climbing up on the Husky to say, hey, I can still get back up on this thing, you know, but couldn't bend my knee. So at that point I thought, I'm done with dirt riding. It's just, I'm not willing to risk 6 months, 12 months, however long, of being recuperation from another injury. What if it happens again, that sort of thing. So it's been 2 years now and I really miss it, but I'm still not willing to do, I think about the fast extreme stuff. I've gone over the handlebars one time when on one of my other dirt bikes. I'm not skilled enough to do the super fast stuff, and that's part of the problem. I can't do wheelies. Sometimes you need to pop that front tire up before you hit an obstruction, so you bounce over it, that sort of thing, and that's just, instead I'm the guy that just hits something 30 miles an hour and goes over the handlebars. So anyway, I'd like to try and get out on some little dirt roads, 2 tracks, whatever you want to call it, non-technical stuff, but I'm intimidated by doing it on this. So I thought, had a couple of different things in mind. DR650, I was really serious about considering that. I actually went and looked at one, sat on one, it felt really manageable. I honestly, I sold all my dirt bikes. Never should have sold the Husky. That 701 is like a unicorn. It was perfect. My wife even tells me the same thing. You never should have sold that. I know, but at the time I thought I'll never need it again, so why keep it? And that's the thing that I hurt myself on. So the R650 would be an inexpensive, fun way to kind of build into something. But man, it's that nearly 30-year-old technology and so much to do. So then there's other things, you know, like small adventure bikes, like the Royal Enfield Himalayan 450, the new one. Seemed like interesting, but it's just not really my thing. So I did a little more looking, and in the last year or so, Triumph has come out with a new Scrambler 400. It's based on their Speed 400. And well, without any further delay.
Move that bike!
All right, I'll move that bike. Oh. Yep. I got another one. So this is the, they call it the big guy got a roommate. Same color as the Tiger. This is a 2025 Triumph Scrambler 400X. So I'm gonna go on a little bit of a accessorizing journey over the next couple of months and start taking this out on, thinking like Mormon Wells Road or Potosi Pass, things like that, that are basically roads that are Jeeps and licensed things can go on. This will also be good for when I have the occasional out-of-town visitor that might want to go for a ride with me. Looking at you, Matt. That this will be a non-intimidating way to get out there and do a short ride while in town. So I'm going to grab the camera now and just do a quick summary of some of the stuff that I plan on doing to this. It's completely stock right now, 0 changes. I already have a cart full of things I'm going to start working on, and I'll do separate videos on those. So let me cut to a summary of some of the things I plan on doing. Almost forgot. I don't know how clear that is on camera. It's really close, but we go to Panda the other day. We had friends in town last weekend, went to Panda, and my fortune says, your next Triumph will be won through kindness. What the hell? That's appropriate for timing for this. I will say that the rep at Eurocycle, the Triumph dealer here in Las Vegas, Tristan, it was his first week on the job. I went to check this out in person on his first day on the job, and nice person, very kind, no adversarial type of a situation there. So hey, maybe this works. Your next Triumph will be won through kindness. I like that. So anyway, let's look at some of these. I'll take a little bit of a closer look here. So I rearranged these a little bit so the Scrambler is front and center now. And let's talk about some of the to-do list for accessorizing this little rascal. One of the immediate things you can do on these for me is foot pegs. They come with these rubber inserts. They're pretty hard to get in and out. So of course they're seated properly when you first get it. I prefer to have just the teeth. It's more of a dirt thing. Solely street riding people will want to leave these in there, typically because it helps a little bit with vibrations on their feet when you get to the higher speeds a little bit. So that's the idea with these, but it's really cool. Tiger had the same thing. I'm still using the stock foot pegs from the Tiger. So it's nice that you can just pull those right out without any issues. The other small change I did was this one. I don't know if it's a Eurocycle thing or a factory thing, but it comes with a battery tender cord, which is really nice. So the original location for this though was, it was hanging down in this area, and the cord looked like it was just dying to get tangled up in the spring that's wrapped around the rear shock. So I didn't like that. Plus I prefer to have my battery tender on this side of the bike anyway. So now it's just rerouted it under the seat, and now I can just push it under there when I'm not using it, and it's out of the way and you don't even notice it. So then on the back side here, the typical fender on these things, I'm okay with the one on the Tiger, not a big deal. But for the, you can't really bend down that far yet. That knee still doesn't want me doing that. This has got to go. So I already have this in. It's a fender eliminator / tail tidy package from Evotech, the same guys that make the Carpuride mount that I put on the Tiger. Did a previous video on that. Really like that company and the quality of their stuff. I was lucky enough to find the last one in stock at a reseller in Texas, and it's already arrived, so I didn't have to wait for the international shipping on that one, so that was cool. I'm also looking for, haven't found it yet, some kind of a little tail bag. There's a Kriega brand one you can get for 5 liter, I think, and it's just enough to hold first aid, puncture repair kit, small tool kit, air pump, things like that. I want to put something like that on here, but I don't want to do the whole like it is on the Tiger and some of the other bikes. I want to try and keep a minimalist aesthetic going on this thing. Since we're in the back here, another area that needs to be addressed is, I think when I take it in for the 600-mile first maintenance or first service, I'm going to have them switch these tires out. These are Metzler-Carew street tires, which are fine for street. That's what I have on the Tiger, and they're okay. Probably going to swap them out with Conti TKC 80s. Probably good combination of dirt and street, and it'll give me a little bit more confidence on some of those dirt roads that I've been talking about hitting. I like the muffler. It's a nice look. It might be a little heavier than an aftermarket option, but I think I'm going to leave it alone. Let's see, what else do we have? There's the hand guards. Oh boy, these things. Oh, there's a little dusty there. I'm sweeping up in here earlier. Typical plastic crap. So the Tiger, $25,000 list price on that, same plastic crap. I don't know why all these manufacturers don't step up and spend the extra $50. I know, everything costs a little bit, but this is ridiculous. You drop the bike once, this thing shatters. It's either put one with a aluminum or a steel back plate to it, or don't put anything on there at all. It's like they're insulting. It's like the cell phone manufacturers who don't put a charging brick in the box and say, we're doing it for the environment. It's like, oh, bull crap, you're doing it for your bottom line. Nobody buys that crap or believes that crap. So I'm gonna put some Barkbusters on here. Have to get those ordered still, but it's already available. The proper ones are already available. I'm gonna do the integrated turn signals too, so I can move the turn signals up, and I've always preferred that. It embeds the turn signal in the handguard, and it gets it up higher and a little bit wider, so that's nice. One little tip here that I haven't seen a whole lot of people talk about, check that out. There is a USB-C port on the side of the Speedo and just above the headlights. So if you want to charge something, charge your phone, put your phone on a quad lock or something, bam, USB-C charge port right there. That is awesome. That partially makes up for the crappy handguards, but not completely. What else do we have up here? For the accessory cart here, I have a whole bunch of stuff. Let me just zoom in on this. And this is the Tail Tidy kit from Evotech. So that'll probably go on later today. I'll do a video on that. I like to put these silicone license plate frames because especially when you have a granddaughter that likes to come over and hang out once in a while, this is what that looks like. It helps protect those sharp edges so you don't end up with, well, I can say it's from my granddaughter, but it's also for me doing something stupid. You walk by these things and catch your leg or your arm or something on it, and that's no good. So, and they look kind of nice. Another Amazon cheap thing. I got the tank pad OEM from Triumph. I like these grip puppies. I put these on all my bikes. I have reasonably large hands. Yeah, you know what that means, ladies. And it helps with vibrations, honestly. It's plus it just makes it a little bit bigger. Some people might think, oh, that's stupid, but it just goes over your existing grips. I'll probably do that when I get the Barkbusters and have to pull the ends. Well, I don't know, I might do that today too. And I think this, once we get up a little higher speeds, is gonna get we're gonna get some vibrations up and around the 70 mile an hour mark. And to help deal with that, I got the JT Sprockets 15 tooth front sprocket. This is what I think this is what the Speed 400 that this bike is based on uses standard. So it's more of a street oriented sprocket. So you get, the RPMs are gonna be lower at higher speeds. So if we're gonna travel an hour towards Arizona way on the highway a little bit, we can keep up with traffic a little bit better without feeling like we're gonna blow up the engine. First aid kit, puncture kit. I still need to put my tool roll, load that up with appropriate tools. And then the last part here is, not the last part. I'm also waiting on one of those little kickstand extenders. I have one of these on the Tiger, also from SW Mine is coming from SW in Germany, so yeah, it's gonna be probably a month or two before I see that, but that's not a big deal. I like their quality of their stuff, so that'll be worth it. And then crash bars, that's the other part. They have a skid plate on this thing, but it's just plastic, and Triumph also makes a metal one, an aluminum one that you can buy as a replacement, but I believe it looks like it's just the coverage is the same as this one. So if I was debating on whether or not to get one of these at all, but on my WR250R, I know at one point I was doing sort of a step down on a trail on some pretty gnarly, it wasn't really rocks, it's just it was a rocky trail. And this thing sits quite low to the ground compared to a WR or the Husky. So if you bottom out, when you're going down one of these stepped trails and you just have a plastic skid plate and your exhaust pipe isn't protected by anything, so hopefully I'm not gonna be in those types of situations, but you just don't know. So it's SW makes crash bar and skid plate that works well together. They're so expensive, but I'm just gonna have to suck it up and get that because I don't wanna be a victim of my own stupidity on the trails one of these days. So I'm just gonna have to do that. So between that and the Barkbusters, that's about it. And the tires, that's about it that's left to order. Now for the GPS type stuff, I got a slightly bigger Carpuride unit for the Tiger. I was looking to do this, and I wanted one also that has automatic light adjustment. So I went with the, I don't remember, the 609, something like that. This is a 6-inch model from Carpuride. Unfortunately, so I already had this cool quad lock mount from Evotech. This Carpuride doesn't have the same backing as the other ones. So I had to make a custom back plate for this damn thing. And it's actually, I took an old quad lock cell phone case from my Pixel 7 and cut it out, and then a piece of aluminum behind that to fill in the gap. You have to use metal for the back of this because there's a thermal pad that goes to the circuit board that helps with heat dissipation. And then, so now this is screwed, just had to get some longer screws to go through it. And you still have that badass quad lock mount, even though it's not technically, you know, a real to do that later. I don't know if I can do that with one hand, but it worked out. So on this one, I already have the Evotech one that is made for this smaller 5-inch model. And then I simply take the quad lock, this is the mirror mount piece, and I'm gonna put this, remove this little pad here on the crossbar and put this in place, and boom, I'll have a nice little mounting spot for my Carpuride GPS Android Auto CarPlay thing. So that'll be cool. I'll probably do that and the Tail Tidy today. And to wire it, I found somebody in India had done a video. You get one of these adapters that takes from a 6-pin motorcycle OBD2 plug that's under the seat. It's an adapter that runs to a car plug, so you can read it with a car reader. This becomes sacrificial. You chop this off. One of these 6 pins is 12 volt. One of them is ground, and that's all you need for these units here. So this will become, I'll take the wiring the wiring harness that comes with this, splice it into this, and boom, we have a custom plug just for that unit. So then I got, like I say, my grip puppies, and that's about it. So I'm gonna get this posted, and then I'll get started on doing some of the, like I said, the Tail Tidy and the Carpuride, and well, hell, probably most of the stuff that's here except for the sprocket, because I need another, I think I need a 24mm socket to get that done. Got to run to the hardware for that. But anyway, that's that. If you like this kind of content, like these kind of videos, please don't forget to subscribe, and that way you'll be notified when I put more out. Once I get this to, probably once I get the sprocket on, I'll start taking the Scrambler out and giving some ride videos on this thing, having some fun with this little guy. And I'm gonna have some company coming next month, and we'll get a couple of us doing a little bit of riding on these things as well. So thanks for watching all the way to the end, and I will see you in the next one.